call this meeting to order. I want to just make sure you all know where the emergency exits are. To the side over here by Sean. Raise your hand, Sean, over there. To the side. Actually, no, just there. Excellent. All right, let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Paul Brown.
Here.
Charles Holtz.
Here.
Nate Shaw.
Here.
Tracy Darwin. Here. Mike Thomas Holt. Here. Karen Anthony. Jeffrey Holliday. Michael Diedrich. Here. And Patty Duchesne.
I need a motion to go into a quick executive session. Can we get a motion? Tracy, second. Michael, all in favor? All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, I need a motion to come back into our regular meeting. Michael Diedrich, second. Paul Brown, all in favor? All opposed? All right, excellent. So we're going to move on now. Visitor recognition, agenda items. No. Excellent, thank you. We've got visitor recognition. We have superintendent report, which we can push into some of our presentations. Would you like to give us any words of wisdom in your first couple of days here?
I'll just, I'm glad to be here. I've been warmly welcomed, and I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to work in Catskill. And my impressions when I was back here in the summer, I came opening day, where there's a lot of people that are working hard for your community, for your kids, and that's the sense and the feeling I got. And I just want to simply say, Deb Johnson led the summer, and administrators, and building the ground, and security, and the guidance council getting the schedules there. All the people, I don't want to, all the support people did a great job getting the school district ready on opening day. I was there just kind of waiting for the crowd, and Deb spoke and gave a very short but strong message that, we're moving, we're looking ahead, and we're going to have everybody's having a good year. We're going to have a good year. And people were very, very, the feedback I've gotten just walking around, people were so happy to hear the message. And a few people got to go to homecoming and see little things, and everybody was smiling, having a good time. And I got a lot of feedback. People feel very, very positive about the school year. Nothing to do with me, so I'm not trying to tell them because I'm here. But it's been very good 2.5 weeks. And again, thanks for the opportunity.
I made him say that. Excellent, thank you. I know Matt wants to come and introduce our presentation for today.
Sure. We contracted with a company called Bonadeo Group. They perform our yearly fiscal audit, and they finished up, this year's audit. We had at 5:15 the audit committee meeting where Teresa Ellis from Bonadeo Group went over in-depth part by part of the financials, and she's going to present you some top-level information for that as well.
Thank you, Matt. So like I said, my name is Teresa Ellis. I'm from the Bonadeo Group. I'm an audit supervisor. We recently completed your audit, and we went over the audit report again in detail with the audit committee. I'm here tonight to go over a very high-level, summarized version of your audit results and answer any questions that you may have. First, I'd like to thank Matt and the rest of the business office for all their assistance during the audit. They were very responsive to our requests. There are 4 deliverables that we have provided to you. The first is your financial statement. The second is your audit of the extra classroom financial statements. The third is your required communications letter. And the fourth is the management letter. The school district's annual audit financial statements include the independent auditor's opinion on financial statements, and we are issuing an unmodified opinion of your financial statements. An unmodified opinion is the highest level of assurance that an auditor can give you. The other report that is included in your basic financial statement is the Government Auditing Standards Report. This report requires us to gain an understanding and report on your internal controls over your financial reporting. We did not identify any deficiencies in internal controls that we consider to be a material weakness. We did identify certain deficiencies in internal controls that were discussed in detail with the audit committee. The second part of the report is your compliance with laws, regulations, grant contracts, that non-compliance could lead to a material financial impact. We noted no non-compliance. The school district is limited to retaining 4% of the school's budget in unreserved, unappropriated fund balance. The school district is under that limit at 3.98%. We are also issuing the school district's annual audit of the extra flashy financial statements, and we're also issuing an unmodified opinion on those statements. Again, that's unmodified opinion is the highest level of assurance that we can give you. So again, that's a very high-level review of your audit. Again, thank you to the business office and Matt for their assistance throughout this, and I'm open to any questions if you have any.
.9%, so you're just 2 hundredths.
Sorry?
So it's 3.98%.
You're just under.
We're just coming.
Yes. Yes.
Anyone else have any questions? Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. Thank you, Matt. As well, our treasurer. Thank you, everyone, for coming and doing all that. I know it's a lot of tedious work, so we appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know we also have some presentations tonight. We have the senior class and we have Spanish class coming to talk to us about their trips. So we'll let ladies go first. So let Mrs. Boucher and the seniors go. Coming up and talk to us about your trip that you would like us to hear about.
Hi, my name is Desiree Brito. I'm class president along with Natalia. So today we're presenting our senior trip, potential senior trip to Universal Studios. We will be staying for 4 days, 3 nights.
Could you speak up just a little bit?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm presenting the potential senior trip to Universal Studios. Four days, 3 nights, we will be staying. First day we would get there, we would stay in the resort on our tour city walk, and then we'll have 2 days in the park fully, and then we'll be back for the day.
So we got questions?
Go ahead.
Talk to us about the fundraising that you have done and what the cost looks like and how we help out kids that maybe want to go there we can't afford to go.
So for fundraising, we have different things. We have certain things that are for the whole class, and then we have certain fundraisers that are going personally, like towards each student. So we have nothing but cakes, we have Krispy Kreme, and that's it for now. But that's for each kid personally, so they can like take off of their their payment, like how much whatever they have to pay, they take off them personally. And then we have whole class. We have breakfast with Santa. We have Halloween dance. We have candy bars assembly. We have another fundraiser that we have going on that we have for the entire class.
I've also written letters of support nightly and some other community agencies asking for support, and they, fortunately have said they would definitely be willing to make a donation to support students. We've had classmates who have done fundraising who said that they're willing, they can afford it themselves, and if there were other classmates that needed support to pay for it, that they would be willing to fundraise for them as well to help them with the travel costs.
Do you anticipate a shortfall, or you normally meet your goal by the time
As far as cost?
Yeah.
So we've had, Mr. Dodonna and I have met with the seniors on 2 occasions, and we're at a tentative cost, and nobody had, and our meeting on Monday, I said to students, if there's anybody that wants to go on the trip that is not able to, please come see me, and nobody has thus far. We have, provided it's approved tonight, we have a parent meeting scheduled as well to talk to parents about that. If there's a financial hardship, we'll work with them.
How many students do you anticipate?
So there's 85 in the class. It's a smaller class. I'm guessing probably about between 50 and 60 students. We did surveys last year. We did a survey, an initial survey in the beginning of the school year, asking for suggestions on where they would potentially like to go. Universal was one of the things that came up, and then we did another follow-up survey after on a number of students that would want to go after that, and we were at over 50% at that point in time.
Do you have a projected cost per student at this point?
About $1,000, and it will depend on, transportation to and from the airports. That will be divided among the number of students that are going. So final cost, actual dollar amount, isn't able to be determined until numbers are determined. So about $1,000 we're at right now. Well,
Okay. Is that because kids have fundraised over the years and they brought that down? So like, what would be Desiree's cost? Like, what do you think your roundabout cost would be? I have all your fundraising.
what are you hoping for?
My goal is about
And in the past, have there been kids that have fundraised their whole entire costs?
Yes.
Like other former classes and have actually fundraised spending money? I
yes.
believe, right?
The parents just hosted a duck race. I'm sure many of you heard about the duck race. And their decision was to put the cost of what was raised during that fundraiser towards specifics, and there are students who are almost there. So no matter where we go, they have a really good start to that. And students who participated in that were 32, which is high, because typically we have 15 or 20 students who, fundraise, and I feel like students, once they realize that it's going to themselves to deter the cost of their trip, they're like, okay, I can do this. So that was a pretty high number of participation considering fundraising. This class is in really good financial shape. I've said to them since last year, they have all of the money that they need for senior activities and then some. I typically, this is my 16th year as an advisor, so I have a lot of experience doing this. And typically going into senior year, they need, between $3,000 and $4,000 for senior picnic, senior breakfast, and they have $5,200. So they're ahead of the game even before starting any fundraising for the school year. So they've been, very, we're in good financial shape. We've worked really hard over the last 3 years to be there, so.
Do you know if there's going to be any exams after the trip?
Regents exams?
Yeah, any school or Regents exams?
So there would be Regents exams after their trip, yes. But most of the seniors, it doesn't conflict with any of those dates. The dates, the tentative dates don't conflict with exams. Other questions?
That's a direct flight from Albany to Rome.
It is a direct flight. Leaves at, the flight leaves, I believe, at 6 in the morning and gets there around 9. So that's the other thing about the JetBlue flight is they're really getting 4 full days there because they'll be in Florida by 9 a.m. on Friday, and the flight out is at 8:50 on Monday night. So they're getting all day on Monday too. So that sort of maximizes their amount of time and cost versus benefit of the trip. I wanted them to get the most they could for their money. So.
Any questions? Louise, do you have any questions, or I know you've done some overnight trips, there's some direct activities, so have you ever been on an overnight trip that you felt really, was a good experience for you?
I've done trips through SCCLA, not like a class trip, but every year we go to the state conference, which is about 2 nights and about 3 days. That is staying in Calhoun, so in New York at the Roma, but I've always had a good experience with that. It was last summer, I flew to Seattle and presented my STAR project nationally, and I had a great experience with that too. Felt great with the safety of everything, and was very happy that the district approved that because that brought my cost down a bit to go, and I had a great experience with that. So I know the seniors every year really value their trip, and that's a great experience for them. So.
Anyone else have any questions for the kids in this evening? Awesome, thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
And we have Mr. Venus who will talk to us about Puerto Rico. Let's hear what Mr. Venus has for us.
Good evening, everybody.
I'm just going to pass these out because I'm helping with the presentation, and this is a little bit about the provider of Explorica and all the information you need on the trip.
Are you going on the trip as well, potentially?
I would love to go next year. I'm in Spanish 3 right now, but I think it's a great opportunity, and I know there's a lot of support with the Spanish 4 students who would be taking the trip this year, and in my class who are excited to possibly take the trip next year.
Thank you, Luis. My name is John Venus. I'm a Spanish teacher at the high school. I teach Spanish 2, Spanish 3, and Spanish 4, 5. And so the intention of the trip is to include students that are currently enrolled in Spanish 4 and 5, and then also students who went through the entire program last year. I was hoping to invite them as well. I anticipate between 17 and 25 students total who will be taking part in the trip. So we're planning on hoping to do this during April break, during spring break. It is 5 nights in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's, like I said, it's for upper and lower Spanish language students. I'm hoping that it's kind of an incentive, a carrot to encourage students to remain enrolled in the program. It's something that they can look forward to as they advance through the program. I have done 2 international trips with students at previous districts. One of them was to France, Austria, Italy, an Asian tour. It was not with Explorica, but as I was investigating the topic, I liked what Explorica was offering. A number of different things, like for example, they offer their own kind of security detail during the trip at the hotels and whatnot. They also create an entire account for students where all of their fundraising would go, and it gets applied directly to their own account once they've started to enroll in the program and they're on the trip. And so my students are going to take most of the, are going to carry out the rest of the presentation for the most part. But that's the overview of it. So it's Puerto Rico, it's 5 nights, and it's for upper level Spanish language students so that they can apply what they're learning in a real world context.
John,
yes.
How many kids are in 4 or 5? How many students?
I have 17 students enrolled in Spanish 4 or 5. Right. Yes. And there were 7 that went through the program last year, and I was hoping to invite them because they've heard about it and they're interested in it. Since they did the whole program, I figured, why not? Yeah. So I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful student, Sean, and he's going to talk a little bit more about the program.
Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Juan Duarte y voy a hablar del propósito del viaje a Puerto Rico. So this trip would be a beautiful opportunity for all of us to experience cultural diversity, not only bringing it into the classroom, but experiencing it in the outside world. We would be able to take our learning and all the way from 7th grade to now, take it with us, go into the real world, see the cultures, talk about everything we see, speak to people in Spanish, and we can have some fun with it as well. I'm going to pass it off to Waylon now.
Hola, me llamo Waylon. Soy un estudiante de español en el nivel 5.
You don't have to do it in Spanish, I was kidding.
Yo tengo mi maestro. Voy a hablar un poco sobre el precio de viaje y lo que se incluye con el precio. That's explaining what I'm going to talk about now. Alright. So the cost for each student would be $2,599. One chaperone would attend for every 5 student travelers. The trip price includes transportation, accommodations, daily breakfast and dinner, guided tours, and all inclusions listed in the tour package. Additional costs may include optional excursions, package fees, and travel protection plans. The payment methods, we got 3 here. 4, that's directly through Explorica. We got the full payment, you pay in full. We got the monthly automated plan, pay a $50 deposit upon enrollment with the remaining balance automatically charged in equally in equal monthly installments until approximately 1 to 2 months before departure. Payments can be made by credit or debit card or checking account. And then we have the 3-step manual plan where you pay a $99 non-refundable deposit. Upon enrollment, a second installment within 30 days, and the remaining balance approximately 95 days prior to the trip. Fin.
Ante todo, quiero agradecer a la Junta y la comunidad por la oportunidad de hablar con ustedes esta noche. Voy a hablar sobre las medidas de seguridad que se ofrece la empresa Explorica. So basically, student safety is a top priority from Explorica. They have 24/7 emergency support, and they have like global contacts. So it's really not a worry that anything would happen. But they also have a $50 million liability insurance policy if anything gets lost or destroyed on the trip. And they're also part of the United States Tour Operators Association, and that's always good. And they've been around for a very long time. They've done trips like this. It's their whole thing. So they know what to expect, what's going to go on. They know how to be.
Hola, como representante estudiante de la Junta y una alumna de español de nivel 3, quiero hacer algunos comentarios finales. So please review the printed proposals you have for more information on things like tour inclusions, lodging and accommodations, meals, tour directors and guides, insurance and travel protection, and our itinerary. All the packets I've handed out have really great information and more detail if you have any questions. So in conclusion, this trip to Puerto Rico will give students the opportunity to use their Spanish skills in authentic settings, engage in Latino culture, visit significant historical and cultural sites, and build strong connections with classmates. The combination of academic, cultural, and personal growth opportunities make this trip a valuable extension of the Spanish program at our school. Gracias a todos por su atención.
And I would just like to say, if the board has any questions going forward for me, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to, investigate anything or answer any questions. And if I don't know, I'll find out and I'll be in touch. So feel free to have additional questions if you don't have any, or if they occur to you later. So, yes.
So the payment has to be made 2 months prior to leaving.
Yes.
And you're leaving April, right?
Yes.
So, okay, so that, now, the cost.
Yes.
You haven't been able to do much fundraising yet.
Not yet, no. Yeah. But if you look at the fundraising package.
I saw,
Yeah. They do create their own accounts, and they start, once we get them enrolled in the program.
Okay.
They start to, be able to access or to put funds in there immediately. I'd like to do that, as soon as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Right? There is also a scholarship.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give much, like what
Right.
you apply,
Yeah.
obviously,
Right.
but it doesn't tell you.
Like, what are the qualifications?
Right,
Sort of thing.
right.
If you'd like, I can find out more information
I'm
from
just concerned for the cost, because I don't want I want all students to
Sure.
go out. And so if you started fundraising now for like next year's class, they would
Yeah.
have plenty of time to get the money out. I'm
Yeah.
concerned because if it's April, but I think it's like April 6th, right? And has to be there 2 months prior, payment has to be made in full.
Yes.
They're gonna have to really scramble to get that money.
We're going to have to really hustle to
Yeah.
get it together. But I'd like to get things rolling this year such that in the next year's group they would have more time.
I don't want to see them not go because
Yeah.
they can't get the finances together.
Right.
You know.
One of the possible things that occurred to me as I was thinking about that very question was that if there were something that was inhibiting to their participation this year, because they went through the whole program,
Yeah.
I would have let them go next year. I would be happy
Okay.
to let them go next year.
Okay.
And then they'd have more time to.
For fundraising, what are some things that you guys want for fundraising?
Well, we were discussing stuff such as bake sales or reaching out to like family potentially or other things outside. This is basically in those things are being so he has the packet, he has the ideas.
There's
little stuff.
There's corporate fundraising options, right? There's also a host of different sort of like events that we can sell things like games. We can really help them to try to get together. wherever there's a community opportunity to try to raise some funds, we can do so. But we can also do all the typical normal corporate things, all the things that we kind of do at the school. Currently, we'd like to piggyback on some of those as well. I would like to reach out to the foundation possibly, and I realize that it's going to take some
I'm
time.
just worried about the timing, you know, and I don't want to not go because of cost.
Right.
I want every kid
Sure.
that wants to go, be able
Sure.
to go.
I totally
And not all families can afford that amount.
Right.
So,
I'd like to get it started and make it kind of a thing, right, for Spanish, and that carrot is always out there, kind of part of the culture.
Would you guys be okay with kind of giving us like a monthly update with like, okay, we have 17 kids going, and it's $3,000 a pop, so, you know, $60,000, you know, we're at $40,000, you know, we're at, so
Absolutely.
we at least have an idea, because I think that's with all of our concern, this is just, we want everyone to go.
Yes.
But it's a financial hardship for many families here,
I
so.
don't want anybody not able to go
Sure.
because they can't afford it.
Did you say this was the first time you've used Explorica?
Yeah, it's the first time I used Explorica, and what I liked about it was just the idea that we have such a high adult ratio of students. Like I did it in the past, we took about
20 students, and it was just 3 of us with those 20 students. And this would be, you know, if you have 20 students, this would be like 4 or 5 adults per 5 students.
And they give you people that, they accompany you and they do speak Spanish?
Yes, they do. Yes, there's a tour director, right, who's kind of heading the whole thing, and then they also provide their own sort of chaperones as well.
Okay.
In addition to chaperones that we could invite because they get a free trip for every 5 students.
Now, for us here, you would bring 1 adult per 5, so.
Correct.
You would find adults here that are willing to go with you. I don't speak for everyone. I think an admin should be going with, you know, if you're going, I know it's international, but it's not. It's
Right.
part of our country, but, you know,
Right.
I rest easy on that, you know, an admin one, maybe Mr. Rivers, Puerto Rico, I don't know if he's still on, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm sure any administrator we have would love to go to Puerto Rico. I'm sure we can find a few.
You know, staff that you of course want to go with you, but also understanding too that, you know, staff have families and people break as vacation, so just make sure that you find, of course, he has to trust them as well. You know, as an educator, you know, we want to make sure that you're going with people that you trust as well, that can keep tabs on. You know, not trying to do anything illegal. I hope you don't, in a different, but still, we want to make sure that it's safe and that you're of course there to learn and have fun as well.
I just had a question. If there were to be an accident of some sort, one of the students was injured or incapacitated in any way, what would be the repatriation to bring them back? How would that work?
That's an excellent question. I would have to look into the details of that question, but I know that there's 24-hour assistance, though, in situations of emergency, and that there's liability coverage for situations like that. So, but if you want me to get more details about that.
Just as long as it's covered, that's...
Sure. No, we're good. Yeah, it's covered, for sure.
Yeah, okay. All right, good. And just one other question is, now, in a language environment, and I know this because my wife is Swiss, and there are many things that can get lost in the translation and the interpretation, and I'm just wondering, is the overall environment going to be immersion and only speaking Spanish, or is, my point is that can we use this as an experience for total immersion as opposed to speaking English?
That's certainly the goal, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's certainly the goal with the operator.
Right.
My understanding is that the tours are given in entire language.
Okay, good. Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'd say if the board agrees, we'd love to have you come back and kind of give us a little slideshow or just photos or whatever, so we can see how your trip was, because that is important to us to see, you know, that you're actually preparing the use where it's going on.
Sure.
Videographer.
Just an off the topic question. Does anybody speak any other language than Spanish?
Portuguese. Yes. A little bit of Italian. Most Portuguese.
Okay. But nobody's studying a second language, right?
I've studied American Sign Language a bit. I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but definitely conversational.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yes, I think it's a great opportunity and that immersion part of another language. I know when I was a little bit younger, a few years ago, I was studying French. Since that's not an option here, I kind of lost a bit, but I got the opportunity to go to France with my family, and it was a really awesome experience, just like being in that immersion of the culture and the language there, and it really helped me with my skills then. So, I think it's
Yeah, and just a comment, my daughter took French here for 5 years, and she actually majored in French in undergraduate, and she's got her doctorate in French. And one of the things that she mentioned to me about languages is, and I didn't know this, but the more you practice and the earlier you practice, the more you become a native speaker. So
I wish they started earlier. It's kind of like how development works. The younger you get taught something, the better it comes out.
Right, so
That's my rally point for plus programs.
good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions for this guys? All right.
We'd be happy to come back.
Okay. We'll be voting in a little bit. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
All right, before we move on, I just wanted to add really quickly that we are in the process for a new superintendent, and I hope some of you have completed the survey that we have. The first day, within a couple of hours, we had 70 responses, which is super exciting. We're at almost 200 responses already. We'll be asking the public for public input for those that want to be on the interview committees. There will be 2 groups that our firm will be soliciting that will mirror each other, and those dates will be coming out soon. We're waiting to hear back from our consultant on that. So just so for everyone, and then we'll move on to board action consent and agenda, board action discussion items. We need E1, copy of acceptance of agenda as amended, as we have a walk-on. So can I get the motion for E1 to accept the agenda as amended? Michael Consul, second. Chuck Coles, all in favor? All opposed? Excellent, motion carries. That's E1. E2, we have our annual designation of our DASA coordinators. So we need a motion for Kayla Gester and Melissa Santarangelo to be our DASA coordinators. Can I get a motion for that? Tracy, a second. Michael Diedrich, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, motion carries. And our walk-on this evening is fruit of our business officials' labor. We're going to have E3 on here to authorize fund balance levels and adjustments to reserves. Be it resolved, the finalized revenues, expenditures, and liquidation of unnecessary purchase orders at fiscal year end 24-25 have determined that an additional $650,000 in excess of 4% fund balance should be allocated to a strategic reserve, and the business office recommends assigning this excess to the capital project reserve as we prepare to undertake the next capital project. Do we know what the next capital project is? Okay, great. Can I get a motion? Michael Diedrich, can I get a second? Tracy, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, motion carries. We are going to go to board action consent, where we're going to vote on these one at a time. So we'll go F1 all the way through F18. Approval of minutes, F1. Can I get a motion, please, to approve the minutes? Michael Consul, a second. Paul Brown, all in favor? All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. We have F2, claims order report. Can I get a motion, please? Michael Consul, a second. Chuck Holtz, all in favor? All opposed? Excellent, motion carries. We have transportation contracts. Can I please get a motion for transportation contracts? Paul Brown, a second. Michael Consul, all in favor? All opposed? Good, motion carries. We have number 4, acceptance of CSE and CPSC recommendations. Can I get a motion? Michael Consul, second. Michael Diedrich, all in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We have 504 recommendations. Can I get a motion for those? Michael Consul, second. Michael Diedrich, all in favor? All opposed? Excellent. We have a CTA MOA that we have for our lovely Miss Indel Manning, who is going to be moving into a CSC position, from what I understand, CSC chairperson.
Yes.
So congratulations, welcome. We're happy to Okay, please get a motion for Jen. Tracy, a second. Michael Consul, all in favor? Any opposed? Excellent, congratulations.
Thank you
so
very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate you. We're going to another CTA MOA for, we have a new physics teacher starting. Is that teacher here? No? All right, excellent. We wish them well. Can I get a motion? Tracy, a second. Charles, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, motion carries. We have a CSEA MOA that we need approval on. Can I have a motion for that? Paul, a second. Chuck, all in favor? All opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. Motion carries. We have appointment to recertify our lead evaluators for all of our building admin. Can I get a motion for 9? Michael Consul, a second. Chuck Holtz, all in favor? Okay. All opposed or abstain? We have a donation. We want to thank Q Bank. We're giving $200 from the cyber grants to the CES Student Council. Can I get a motion on that donation? Michael Consul, second. Michael Diedrich, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Another donation to the CES Back to School Barbecue. Thank you very much from the PTA. I know some of you are here, PTA. Thank you very much for your $400. We appreciate it. Can I get a motion, please? Tracy, second. Michael Consul, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We have another donation from Fortnightly Club. Anyone from Fortnightly here? No one. Well, thank you, Fortnightly. We appreciate it as well. $400. Can I get a motion, please? Michael, a second. Paul, all in favor? All opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We have a CASDA agreement, which when we understand is for PD within the district. Can I please get a motion for F13?
I'm sorry, what was this for?
F13. CASDA, it's for in-house PD. Michael Diedrich, can I get a second? Chuck Holt, all in favor? Okay, all opposed? Motion carries. F14, I'm under the understanding we would like that tabled.
Yeah, so moved.
Okay, motion to have F14 tabled. We have Paul with a first and a second. Chuck, all in favor? Okay, any opposed? Excellent, we'll come back to that. We have the approval of the class of 2026 senior trip. We want to thank the kids for coming and presenting to us. Can I get a motion to approve the 2026 senior class trip? Michael Diedrich, a second. Michael Consul, all in favor? All opposed? Great. Have fun, kids. We have our next one, F16, approval of the high school Spanish class trip to Puerto Rico. Can I get a motion for that? Michael Diedrich, a second. Chuck Holtz, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, buen viaje. Good, excellent. We have F17, a corrective action plan for financial audit. Can I get a motion on that, please? Michael Diedrich, second. Michael Consul, all in favor? Any opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. And we have F18, a Clark Scholarship recommendation for leave of absence for the class of 2023. Can I get a motion? Michael Consul first, Paul Brown second. All approved. Any abstentions or declined? No. All right, we're gonna go to G1, personnel agenda. Everyone follows through. Can I get a motion to approve our personnel agenda? Michael Consul, second. Chuck Holt, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Excellent. And any committee reports? I know there was a policy and finance committee. I don't know if you want to give a report, but they were here.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Finance
it.
Finance and Audit Committee met today, the presentation from there.
Okay, excellent. And there are other committees we have, Nula, our policy.
Building.
Mhm.
Mike and I met Butch and Matt Parker.
Okay.
Last week we walked to high school. We still have to do the elementary.
Okay, awesome.
And you looked at the softball field?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you realized the ramp, the thing is an
Yeah.
issue? Okay.
Yeah. There's a few things in
Yeah.
Butch is on top of everything.
Okay.
Technology, talked to Don, we can figure out time, and then health and safety, who else on the health and safety? Mike. And I think John has that one, right? I think you have. Okay. So for our next meeting, we'll have some tentative dates to meet for those other two committees. Visitor recognition for, visitor recognition for any non-school agenda items. No one. We'll go into executive session to discuss matters that do not pertain to anything in this meeting. There'll be no voting. Can I get a motion for that? Michael Consul, second. Chuck Holt, all in favor? Any opposed? Right, motion carries. Thank you for coming. Yeah.